In chapter 9, we're going to study about investing in human capital. It's very interesting. This chapter have set the objective that we intend that all of you can understand how to measure cost and benefit in human capital investment. The learning outcome we can measure by you can employ the evaluation tools to choose a worth alternative when we have several cost benefit indicator. This is indicator in terms of economics. What is it? Indicator. Okay. The concept of human capital or definition of human capital. Generally, capital is one of inputs we can utilize within a period of time. Therefore, all capitals are embedded with pre-depreciation. This depreciation, okay, in various types, we can calculate. So we can calculate the value of the capital we call present value or value of capital. Okay, the depreciation related to what is it? Is going to be interest rate, right? And number one, education. Education is one alternative when we think about human capital, how to invest the education. So we have many questions about education in terms of is education as an investment or is education as a consumption? Which one? Investment or consumption? Which one? Okay, education. Is education a private or public? Private or public goods? Which one? Is education an individual demand or public demand? Is individual or public demand? Which one? Okay. We will familiar with these two words, consumption and investment. And saving and education. Okay, in this chapter, saving is when we saving, we gain the interest rate, right? When we saving, we gain the interest rate or return on saving as interest rate. And return on education, we call return on education or R. Okay. I stand for interest rate. R stand for return on education. So, saving and education, they are substitution service or substitution goods. When we talk about saving, the price of saving is the return on education, and price of education as interest rate, because saving and education are substitution goods. Okay. Relation between education, age, and earning. Okay, all of this chapter 9. First, is education an investment or consumption? This first question. If we consider the education by the definition of investment, we will think about it when we invest in education, we graduate from university, then you get a job and you get a wage or income, right? This is term of education is investment. Invest, then gain benefit. Okay, this all benefit, wage or investment. And income. Sometimes we familiar with the earnings. Earning means wage plus other income. Okay, others income. Other income. Okay, on the other side is consumption. If we think education is on consumption, after we consume something, we gain utility. Then, when we consume education, when we graduate, we gain the proud, we gain the happiness, or we call psychic income, psychology, okay, psychology income. No money, it's non-money, okay? No money, this have money, okay, right, very easy, right? Money and non-money, okay? In macro level, macroeconomics level, education, we know that macro level, remember, GDP equal to consumption plus investment plus government expenditure. In terms of open economy, we plus export minus import. C plus I plus G plus parenthesis X minus M. So education, they're related to consumption and investment and government expenditure as well. Firstly, investment here. Investment of government is one of a government expenditure. They have to invest for 15 years of schooling for all population. We call compensate, right? It's subsidy, okay? And then they gain the wage. They gain the wage from the employment, okay? On the other hand, consumption household, this is a part of consumption. Every household, they have to pay for tuition fee for their children. So this is education expense or pay for the training expense. Okay, this one of consumption. Okay, so education can generate GDP. Is education a private or public good? This slide shows the education we can look into perspective. It's private. When we look through by private, it's the individual. They invest their education and then they get a wage, okay, get higher education. When they graduate from university, they can generate new technology. They have a social minded, they have a good conscience, okay, and this microeconomics can relate to macro or public goods here. The education is one of public goods that everyone can access, because this should generate the social welfare stability from higher education. Social welfare come from new technology, social-minded, conscious, and social welfare will increase, okay, increase, or we can say that the good externality will be expand to the social, okay? What is public goods? Remember, public goods by the assumption is everyone can open access, everyone can access, or we call can access to utilize, okay? Number two is one consumption do not obstruct or decrease consumption of others. Everyone can consumption. There's public goods. Everyone can consume these public goods. No one can obstruct anyone. For example, case of satellites, if government set the free satellite or TV that everyone can access with free of charge, one household can access this system but not disturb others, okay? So the policy is that 15 years of schooling for all again, okay? Is education an individual demand or a public demand? It's a good question. Which one? Individual or public demand? The answer is both. This both of individual and public demand. Because every household, parents, mom and dad, they want their children have high education. They plan to their children to graduate from Matthew 6 and then university, right? Okay, in terms of individual demand of education compared to commodity in the market, X, okay, think back to the microeconomics. In commodity markets, we have commodity X, they have a PX and QX, okay, price and quantity. Then the individual demand for education, we can generate or imagine that demand for education is X years of schooling. Is, what is it? It's QX, right? And we have to pay for tuition fees, PX, right? Okay. And then later, we gain an education internal rate of return because education are investment. When we invest, we pay for tuition fee, we gain of interest rate, or we call return on education or rate of return, okay, internal rate of return. So we know that we have to invest for long time after they graduate Matthew 6, then university, master degree, PhD degree. This long time, right? So in terms of finance, we can calculate through by NPV, net present value. We know that benefit is R, right? Is TR, okay, TR, total revenue. C is TC, okay, maybe, what is it? The price of tuition fee, right? Tuition fee. Multiply by year, okay? and plus others, everything expense, while you have to study at the university, all of expenditure, right? Benefit and cost. And R is interest rate of return. N is number of years schooling. And the criteria to make decision is worth or not when we invest in education is NPV should equal to NPV should greater than 0. Okay? NPV should greater than 0 mean TR greater than TC, okay, by the present value already. Okay, next episode we're going to talk about the indifferent curve